good morning, good day, and welcome again to We the People, the show for and by and of the people. I am your host, Rhodes Pierre, and I've been on hiatus for a while, but you guys probably haven't noticed, but I'm glad to be back. I missed the studio, and today I have a very special guest, and this gentleman goes by the name of G. Richard Francois, and met him through a networking event, and one of the things that this gentleman does is actually he's a dating coach. And I figured in the age of COVID, since the rules have all changed, let's kind of like review like the dating protocol with someone that actually helps people these days with their ability to I would say mac or talk to the ladies. I'm trying to be a mac or two, so. So no, G, welcome to the show. Should I refer to you as G, Richard, or Mr. Francois? How would you like to be referred to?
Richard is good.
Richard? Okay, perfect. Well, Richard, welcome to the show. And again, it's We the People, and I'm glad to have you on. And introduce yourself to the audience. I know it's like COVID time, but please, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Rhodes. Yes, where do I start? People often ask me, well, what made you want to become a dating coach, or as I now like to refer to myself, a dating strategist? Well, it started with me being my own first client. There was a time when the nagging question for me was, why is it that women say they want one kind of guy, but always seem to end with the opposite kind of guy? One kind of guy being the sweet, nice, thoughtful, respectful guy, and the other kind of guy being the insensitive, self-centered jerk who's the my way or my way type. I mean, with this guy, the highway is not even an option.
No,
And I
no.
was, and I was the nice type of guy, the kind of guy you'd see in the romantic comedy who'd get the girl at the end of the movie by some magic almost. Like she didn't want him the entire movie. She gave him a hard time, went out with the bad boy, kicked his dog. At the end of the movie, they're all of a sudden together.
That's the Hollywood protocol right there to make a movie.
And
That's
I
how they make
thought,
their money.
and I thought, man,
Fantasy,
this is
a
the guy
fantasy.
I need to be. I would study these movies and just turn myself into the real life version of these sappy, nice guys with no backbone who would just serve as walking doormats. And
Okay. All
long
right.
story short, how it came is my cousin said, dude, you got to listen to this guy on CD. It took him 3 months to convince me to listen to this CD. And I listened to it just to get him off my back. And in the first 10 minutes of the CD, the fog was lifted. I was like, I got to tell the world. And that's when I started to want to become a dating coach and help guys out.
What was the CD?
I'm glad you asked. So the CD was by a guy called Doc Love. I know, right? What a name.
Yeah.
What a name, Doc Love.
Doc Love.
That. So the CD was by a guy named Doc Love, and it was part of a book called The System, aka The Dating Dictionary. The book is still available. If you go to his website, now I'm plugging somebody else's stuff, but I'm fine with it. You go to doclove.com, you go to his website, you can still get the book, even though Doc sadly passed away in August. He was like my mentor. He was a guy that opened my eyes to women, to dating, to game. And I now just want to do the same for other people.
Good. Like you said, like again, Hollywood has done a disservice to a lot of us where it's actually kind of like programmed.
Including the women.
Yes.
Including the women. You would think it's just the guys being disturbed, but the women think that they want this sweet guy, but that's not the guy that really gets their heart pounding. That's not the guy that gets their blood pumping. That's not the guy that gives them the tingles. No. And I want you to be the dude who gives her the tingles and that she wants to kiss and hug too.
I know. Like, I mean, I don't want to be but it seems like to me like you got to be like the aggressive, assertive, like, like domineering, like, ooh, I'm the man, ooh,
right.
kind of thing.
My way or my way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then that's when they respect you, or that's when they like actually, oh, why doesn't he love? I can change him. I'm gonna fix him, or kind of thing, like,
I love your falsetto voice, by the way.
Well, like I have range. That's why I host. I do.
It's good to have range. But to your point, Rose, the reason why I do what I do is because, yes, there's usually two extremes when it comes to men and dating. There's the bad boy. That's the my way or my way guy. He doesn't give an inch. He's in charge of everything. He doesn't want to hear anything she has to say. And then there's the nice guy who's the opposite, where what he has to say doesn't matter. The only thing he knows to say is yes, dear, whatever you want, dear. Are you comfortable, dear? Do you want more, dear? Do you want less, dear? Should I get out of your way, dear? Like this is the guy, this is the guy who will be dating somebody and will pay for her and her five girlfriends to go out on a manicure. And that's not even his girlfriend. This is some girl he's trying to get. That's a nice
What?
thing. I've heard of these stories.
Yo, okay. First, yo, if that
I've
dude's
heard
that
of these
genuine,
stories,
yo, I want to get a few free pedicure too. So shoot out lately.
right? Exactly. And so that's the
It is
extreme
so
nice
messed
guy.
up.
Now I say there are good things about being the bad boy. There are good things about being the nice guy. When we meld the two of them together with the perfect dosage, what you get is the mischievous gentleman. And that is who I'm out to train. That's who I'm out to create. We have a shortage of mischievous gentlemen in the world. Men who know how to treat women, but also know how they want to be treated and will not settle for anything less.
So
And
like to someone with the
all
James,
they come across that guy, they can't help but be attracted to him.
so someone with like a James Bond or Bond kind of savoir faire kind of thing.
Yes, a James Bond type of character where James Bond has the allure, the mystery. He's calm, cool, and collected. There are
Yeah.
these personal attributes of James Bond you can emulate. You don't have to look like James Bond. You don't have to have a great car or be tall or handsome. Uh, and if those things you have them, great. But you also know you need to have the more importantly the persona, the qualities that make you alluring, intriguing, that make you more of a question mark than just a novel full of answers.
So as far as like being a gentleman that helps other gentlemen, like how do you start helping gentlemen with their pursuit of being more desirable or the mischievous gentleman as you would call them?
Yeah. So when the first step to being a mischievous gentleman is to realize that you're not.
That you're not a bit mischievous gentleman?
That's right. To realize you're not there yet, because if you ever heard the expression, you are a very sweet guy. You're so.
Ooh,
I wish
that's
there
a
were
dirty
more
word,
guys
isn't it?
like you. I
What'd
wish
she say?
I wish there were more guys like you.
Okay.
That's usually code for I've figured you out already.
Oh,
There's no
Okay.
mystery here, and I wish there were more people that I could easily play like you. I could just put, and the women don't say that kind of stuff to a guy that they're attracted to. Listen to women talk about their celebrities that they think are just alluring and hot and attractive. They never say things like, "He's so sweet. He's so sweet. I just love how he says yes about everything." There's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
intriguing about that guy. Oh, he's such a bad boy, or he looks powerful. That's what generally is attractive to a woman, not the sweet doormat. I'm gonna say yes to everything you do, but a man who has his own plan, his own
Mhm.
path,
Okay.
and he's also respectful
Okay.
and commands respect in return. Yeah. So, like I said, the first step is realizing that you're not there, and then the next step is we have a conversation. I have a conversation with my clients to find out, well, what's been going on, where do you want to be, where are you at right now, and we come up with a plan. And that plan involves changing your behavior. It involves changing your mindset. It also could involve changing your appearance. Although I haven't worked on that with any of my clients yet, but it could have to do with your attire, how you present yourself. Because I don't care what anybody says about judging a book by its cover. The reason we have the expression "don't judge a book by its cover" is because we do.
Ooh, okay.
It's because we do. People do that. So, what kind of book do you want to be?
Yep. Yep. So you want to be the book that she wants to keep reading. That is just mysterious, like it keeps like it's a page turner. You don't want to be
Right.
something like,
Yeah. First
I already,
five
I can
pages, yeah,
already
I know what's
tell.
happening,
Yeah, I
and
already
then
can tell what's up with this. I already can tell. I already can
yeah,
tell. All
yeah.
right, all right. So, as far as like your the clientele that you go with, like what would like after you do the evaluation and stuff and like kind of get the background of what they've been doing and stuff, and then like so how do you tweak it or how do you like make them like better as far as like becoming daters?
Yeah. So after we do the initial consult, if they choose to work with me, then we'll start on a game plan. And that game plan will oftentimes include taking a look at their current online dating profile and making some changes. There are a lot of key mistakes that men make on their profile. Usually it's too long. They have a lot of detail on there that's irrelevant.
So you got to keep it short and sweet.
You got to keep it short and intriguing. You
Intriguing.
never want to be called sweet by a
Sweet.
woman eventually.
Yeah, that's true.
So see the cute 5-year-old at the Thanksgiving party is sweet to grandma. You don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
be, a puppy is sweet. You want to have more kick to your persona than just being sweet.
Sweet. Okay.
And so your profile is intriguing. It gives a little bit, but the point of the profile is not for her to go, oh, I understand who this guy is. It's for her to want to know, who is this
This
dude?
guy.
Who is this dude?
Who
And
is
so
this
it's not a list
mysterious
of
man?
qualifications and accomplishments. It's this is what I'm interested in, and this is what I'm looking for. You want to be straightforward, but
Okay,
you also
okay.
don't want to be just wide open. What do I mean by that? If you're looking just to play around and just be casual, be
Yep.
upfront about that. Don't say I want a relationship if you're just looking to just have a good time with a woman. There are
Okay.
plenty of women out there looking for a good time with no strings attached, Rose. Plenty.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But
It
when
just
you can't own that and they tease you about it and you kind of buckle, they're like, I can't respect this guy. But
okay.
if you can look at a woman square in the eye and say, look, I'm very attracted to you,
Yep.
but I
Yep.
am not looking for a wife or a girlfriend right now. I'm
Yep.
looking to have a good time, and I think you and I can make sparks fly because we have a good chemistry. If that's what you want, let's do it. We're gonna have a great time together. If you're looking for a husband or a boyfriend, I'm not the guy for you. You can look at a woman square in the eye and say that to her. You'll be surprised how many women go, okay, I'm on board.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Just be upfront about it. Like, listen,
Be
this is not what
upfront
I'm looking
about
for.
your intentions, not about your feelings. You show your feelings, verbalize your intentions.
Okay. Show your feelings.
And you show
Verbalize.
them and you show them with your actions. So
Yep.
if you like her, you show up and you have a plan. You think she's attractive? Well, fine. You think she's attractive? Don't talk about how attractive she is. Treat her like somebody who's attractive.
All right. But then, like, how do you not be a sucker? Because if you treat him like it's like someone that's attractive, like, how do you not fall into the trap of being the nice guy again?
Very good, Rose. Very good question. Because the question becomes, well, how do you treat somebody who's attractive? And you might think, well, it's obvious how I treat somebody who's attractive, a woman who's attractive. Is I tell her she's attractive. I spin her around and go, man, you got booty for days, homegirl. You think that's what you would do. But that's actually not it. What you do is you flirt with her.
yeah,
You flirt. You're playful. You're fun to be around. And
yeah.
when you're out with her, you don't check out the other chicks, no matter how attractive they are. You're with her, you give her your undivided attention. And at the end of the date, she gets a kiss if she was a good girl. I know I'm going to offend a lot of people when I say good girl. She didn't say anything that was annoying to you. She wasn't like purposely pushing your buttons, bringing up hot topics like politics just to rough. But there was good chemistry. There was back and forth, maybe some playful teasing. At the end of the day, you give her a good night kiss. You do that for 3 days straight. She's going to maul you at the next day because you're doing all of the things that say I'm attractive, but you're not jumping all over her like all the other thirsty guys.
Okay, yeah.
That drives her crazy.
He's thirsty, but he don't want me.
Right.
The
Now she's
challenge.
like, maybe the dress is too short. Or maybe it's not short enough. Maybe it's too tight. Maybe it's the perfume I'm wearing. So now she's on the phone with her girlfriend for 45 minutes trying to figure out what she did wrong because you went out on 2 dates with her and you didn't try to go inside the house. She's like, am I going to have to invite this guy in my house? Yes.
Ah, again, doing the intriguing mystery thing, like she wants to find out more. Always, that's the Hollywood rule. Always keep wanting more, right?
Always keep them wanting more. Listen, the three, was it three or four? The three most powerful words on screen: to be continued. Right?
Yeah,
To be
it
continued.
continued. Yes,
I
yes,
don't
because you're
know.
like, oh, when's the next episode coming out? What? Yeah,
Exactly. I don't know how many Game of Thrones fans you have listening, but
yep,
think
yep,
about the last season of Game of Thrones. How long did HBO take to release that last season? Like a year and a half.
yep, yep.
People were furious. They were spent a year and a half talking about Game of Thrones, waiting for that last season. I don't think they lost very many fans because they took a year and a half to release the last season, because people were already invested enough in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Were willing to wait for something good. I'm
that is.
saying be more like Game of Thrones. Don't just have a wait for the sake of having a wait. Be valuable. Have something juicy and delicious to offer, but actually offer it in small doses and draw it out so that she can just be looking forward to seeing you and be excited to see you. But Richard, that's playing games. Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Well, you're playing games. Do you want to play the game and win the game, or play the game and lose? Because if you're
Yeah.
going to play the game anyway, I say play it in a way that you both win. Game of Thrones came along, people watched it, HBO won, everybody won. Now they're talking about whatever else is next. Be like Game of Thrones. That's the moral.
Yeah, but okay, so the thing I'm thinking is this, it's like, okay, when you do like the whole, like, okay, you hold back or what have you, and then again, that whole the term, the I guess like that's the thing. It's like you want to build the intrigue because that's the thing with the one night stand. That's what it is. It's like one night and then that's it. It's done, and it doesn't. It's not supposed to live or be developed into something else. And so I guess like the whole attraction of like, oh, being able to like, how they say, being able to attract the girl or that night, I don't know. So, but again, with COVID these days, it's just it's not going to be one of those things anymore, I guess. Or, well, actually, no, I guess it could be because people still, do things that are not to their benefit, I guess, at
COVID
times.
has definitely affected the dynamics of dating roads. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
At the same time, are you just going to stop dating, or are you going to adjust? And I think now is the time to adjust. There are great things about having this pandemic on our hands for people who are dating. Number one, it makes it next to impossible to get catfished. Why? Because before you go meet somebody in person, guess what you're going to do?
You're gonna Zoom.
You're going to have a Zoom
Zoom.
date. That's
Yeah.
right. You're going to have a Zoom date. So now
Yeah.
you're going to see more or less what she really looks like, what he really looks like.
Yep.
If
Yep.
somebody shows up on a Zoom date with filters on, you're like, hey, those filters are cool. Let me see you without the filters, though. Because guess what? You showed up without filters. I
Yeah.
took the time to show up without filters. I want to see what you're going to look like IRL in real life.
Yep. Yep.
Because you're not going to show up in real life with filters. Or maybe you
Yeah.
are. It's called makeup.
No, they just say tape. They put tape over the.
But
Over there,
eventually,
like, oh.
eventually, you're going to see this person with their face. And
Yeah.
it's like if I have a bald head and I just have a hat all the time, trying to hide my bald head. Well, why? Why?
Yeah.
I'd be
I mean,
like,
I just keep my head warm. I know my head's bald. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm proud of
yeah,
my baldness, but
yeah,
yeah, no. But I do know, like I have met cats that you've never seen them without a hat, no matter what, no matter where the situation, they always wear a hat, and you're like, are they trying to hide the fact? I don't know if they are bald or whatever, because you see hair coming out from under the hat, but you never see them without a hat. So,
yeah.
but I'm sorry, I digressed. I went into that whole hat thing. But again, with the whole zooming thing, that definitely helps out as far as like being able to vet or see the people and
Absolutely, absolutely. So now it's you go on the Zoom, and if it's not Zoom, it's a phone call. But now most people know what Zoom is, and they prefer Zoom because they don't even have to give their phone number out.
That's
And
true.
in a way, it's better than the phone number because you don't have to give your phone number out. There's a bit more privacy, but you can see the person's face. You can see how much effort they put out, at least from the waist up. At least from the
Yeah,
waist up.
yeah.
Now, don't be the person who fails the Zoom because you stood up too fast and forgot you were not wearing pants.
We're
Or
not
maybe you'll
doing
pass the Zoom depending on the kind of date.
it. But like, no, well, that's the thing. There's this whole now Zoom etiquette or what have you, as far as like going on Zoom, and like people have lost jobs because of like not paying attention to the
Oh
fact
yeah.
that the camera's on or what have you and stuff.
Yeah. What they're
But
supposed to say or what they're doing during the Zoom call. There
yeah,
was a time when you were on conference call, and who knows how many people were actually paying attention on conference calls rather
yeah,
than doing other stuff. Sometimes they forget themselves on video, and you hear blenders going off in the background, dogs barking.
yeah,
But now that's happening, and people forget the camera is on.
yeah.
Because this maybe because they can't see anybody, people can't see them, and that's not how it works.
No, no, exactly. That's not how exactly it works. People like if you forget that the camera's on, or forget the audio, the mic's on, everything's being heard and seen these days.
Yeah, and sometimes
So
recorded. Because some Zoom meetings are recorded.
yeah. So as far as like when like you're doing like that whole like somehow or another you met and you decided to go on Zoom to do your first initial
Mhm.
vetting. Again, my whole thing is like, well, how do you meet people in these days with the whole concept of like, since you're like bottom line is it's like okay you're not meeting out like out in public because everyone's wearing a mask or what have you. People are like yo baby just
Exactly.
checking you out like from the I mean granted now it's like you do like it's kind of like you try to look at him like judge based upon the hidden face or like if you'd want to actually approach someone based on the mask or what have you. But no, so how do you like these days like kind of set it up to meet people? How do you meet new people these days?
One of my clients has had a lot of success with online websites, with dating sites or
Okay.
dating apps. So you start with a dating app. You have a profile. Going back to the profiles, you, your profile has pictures of just you. No group pictures, no friends, no dogs, no celebrities. There are 4 pictures of just you in different settings and different attire. You have one where you dress for the Oscars. You have one picture where you dress super casual. Maybe you were gonna go on a hike. There's one picture where you dress for in between Oscars and casual. So maybe you're wearing some khakis and maybe like a flannel shirt or a long sleeve shirt, and a picture of you doing some activity you're fond of. Maybe it's a picture of you because you went to do a racing thing with your buddy, so you're in the racing gear from that day. Something interesting, something different. So you've got 4 pictures. You don't need more than that.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
pictures or of you, at least 2 of those pictures need to be from head to toe, so they can have a sense of how tall or how short you are. If you're a
Okay.
short guy, listen, there are women who love short guys. There are women who don't mind short guys. Don't think that that's the reason to just pretend you're something you're not. Because again,
Yeah.
that goes back to catfishing. So that's the pictures in a nutshell. Then your profile says something brief, something intriguing. It says something like, hey, I'm looking for a woman who is self-reliant and who is flexible and likes corny jokes. Something like that,
Something like that. Yeah.
you know?
And she's been
And
like, you better have some corny jokes.
and then you say something like, okay, so let's meet on Zoom and see what you look like without a filter. Haha.
Okay. Okay.
Or let's meet on Zoom and just go from there. Let's
Okay.
just something quick, and then in your description, you want to be very very brief in all the questions they're asking. Some profiles ask more questions than others, like are you the firstborn and astrology sign, all that kind of stuff. How
Mm-hmm,
many
mm-hmm.
kids do you want? Answer some of those, but some of that stuff just needs to be left for later. So either like leave it, I'll tell you later, or if you can be cheeky, if you can actually type in your response, this is your chance to be a little bit of a smart aleck and say
Yeah.
things like, well, what is your personality type? If there's an option called princess, you're writing princess down. That's what you're putting down because nobody else did that. And now you're being a bit of a smart aleck. So it's like, okay, princess. And you just go to the website, you answer those things pretty quickly. And there are questions like, well, what do you think about the first date? I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Kind of show command.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
It leaves an air of mystery. Like, you don't tell
Exactly.
them. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Kind of
And
thing.
your profile, I know people have different views on this, but your profile should not be the place where you're taking political stances on anything, feminism, birth, right to give birth, and Black Lives Matter. That's all great stuff to have your stances on, but that's not the dating profile is not where you're doing it.
Okay. Okay.
You can differ or agree on that kind of stuff later on. I've never heard of people getting divorced because they have political differences,
Okay. Okay.
as important as they might be.
Yeah. No, and
Find
then
some
go
find
ahead.
common ground first. Then we'll discuss the other stuff.
All right. So so definitely for a profile, keep it short and sweet. No more than 4 pictures. Two pictures head to toe. The other picture doing some sort of activity.
Yeah,
One Oscar, one medium, oh, in between the Oscar and a sport activity,
yeah,
and then maybe like one like happy smiley face kind of one, you smiling kind of
yeah.
something.
If you're gonna do smiley, like maybe just do one. It's actually been proven that women don't respond well to guys' profile pictures that where the guys are smiling big. They
Okay.
more respond to profile pictures where the guy is kind of looking away with a more of a distant look on his face, kind of like this. Like he's looking at something intriguing. You see the bird or something on the mountaintop, like he's looking this way. And
Yeah.
there are pictures that someone else has taken. No selfies.
So it's a little practice like that, like get someone else to actually take the picture for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have a buddy go out in the park with you and just take some pictures, or you go on a hike and just
But like,
like
here's my phone. Take my pictures.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So
But
if
yeah,
you
but
got
it's
somebody
definitely a
else to
picture
show
of
the
you,
picture,
but someone else taking it.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
And then
People prefer professional photographs. I've known photographers who do that and specialize in that. If
okay.
you use professional photographs, have that be some of the pictures you have on, but not all of them being
Okay.
professional, because then you
Yeah.
look staged.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. And then so as far as like when the guys like I guess like meet the ladies or whatever, do you ever try to figure out like if they have a specific type of lady, or do you just kind of like work on the guys and that's
When you mean
you
type of lady, you mean what? Like if they have preferences as far as the body type or education level? What do you mean?
yeah, all of that, like like can you tell like if there's this particular type that would be better for a gentleman, like hey.
I let them sort out like what they're attracted to in terms of personal qualities or maybe even life philosophies and anything like that. Physical attributes. I know I bring that up a lot. That matters. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
Physical
it
attributes
does. It does.
actually matter. If you're going to spend 20, 35, 40 years with somebody, they have to be pleasant to look at.
Yeah.
It's just, they have to be pleasant to look
That's
at.
true. Hey,
And
agree,
pleasant to
agree.
look at means different things for different people.
People.
That's the
Yes.
beauty of it. What you
Yes.
find pleasant to look at could be very different from what I find pleasant to look at.
Hmm.
There's something for everybody.
That is true.
And so what I work on them with is how to attract some of the attributes of a woman that is fun to be around.
Okay, okay.
And so in the actions that I have these guys take, they're either going to turn these types of women on more, or
Okay.
if that's not that type of woman, she's going to get turned off. For
Okay.
example, I say find somebody who's confident, who's self-reliant, but also is warm and playful.
Yeah,
One
absolutely.
way to find somebody who's confident and self-reliant is you don't call her the next day after a date. You give it a few days. At the end of the date, we end it cordially, pleasantly. If it's the second date or beyond, we offer a good night kiss. I say offer because we're not gonna grab her and force one on her. You're gonna come almost all the way and have her kiss you the next 10%, like in the movie Hitch, right?
Hmm. Okay.
Because she's putting in somewhere. She cannot go back and say, well, you kissed me. Well, no, I came close and then you kissed me. She had the option to turn her cheek or not kiss you.
So you got to do the move in, but you can't go the full in. You
You
can't
do
go
it
all the
all the
way in.
way. and then you know, then she meets you more than half. She meets you the rest of the way,
Yeah.
unless
So,
it's
so
an obvious where she's just touching you the entire day, making comments about your body, and doing all that kind of stuff. So going back to how do you attract somebody who's self-reliant? Well, you don't call her right away the next day. You don't text her to let her know you got home okay, because now you're building a dependency for this person that she needs to know where you are at all times. So we have a
mhm.
great date, we have fun, we say good night that day. You call her 5 days later. And I did say you call her. We're not texting her, sending an Instagram message, a Facebook message. We pick up the phone like it's 1992 and we call her because now she's got your number.
Yep, yep.
You call her up and you say, hello, so and so. We made conversation for a little bit. Well, I don't want to keep you long, but I called because I wanted to invite you out to our next date. And I have XYZ planned for us on ABC day at 1, 2, 3 time. Can you make it?
And then she says,
And
yes,
you
GP.
shut
She
up and
says,
you listen.
and she says, no, you'd be like, okay.
And she says, well, I'm not free that night. Okay, so you're not free that night? Nah. Okay. Well, thank you. Have a good night. Now, why do we stop it there?
So that way you're not begging. You're like, hey,
That's right. Because she's got the ability, Rose, to say, I'm not free that night. How
but
about all these other nights for you?
nights, exactly. Give you options if she's interested. Because if she's exactly, if she's interested, she'd make it
Right,
point freaking
right.
obvious.
The confident woman will respond positively to that because she's like, well, look at this guy. He spent 5 days. He didn't call me. He didn't text me. He didn't check in every morning with a good morning, beautiful text message. Women hate that, by the way. Don't listen to whatever they say to you. That does nothing for your case when you text a stranger saying good morning, beautiful. Nothing at all. And I know that there might be women who come and say, well, I love when a guy says good morning. Oh, really? And what happened with you and that guy?
Yeah,
Oh, well, we're
exactly. I'm
still
like,
good
go like, are you
buddies.
married? Are
Yeah,
you
we're still good
engaged?
buddies.
You got a boyfriend?
One out of 5,000 will say, yeah, we're married now. Okay, does he still say that? Not really.
Okay.
So let me set dial back a little bit. I get very passionate about this stuff, man. So you take your time to do that, and a confident, self-reliant woman will see that, and she'll be like, wow, look at this guy. He has a life. He has things to do. He's not calling me every 5 minutes. Now you do that a few more times. A confident woman, guess what she's gonna do if she wants to see you before 5 or 8 days?
She's gonna call.
She's
She'll
gonna
make the move.
call you. And
Yeah.
I want you with a woman who is willing to go after what she wants and express it. So she wants to see you, she's gonna call you. Now there's a woman out there who'll be like, I would never call a man. It's the man's job to call me. Oh yeah? Well, what's your job?
Yeah. No, it's like
What's
is
the
it
job?
2020 now? Isn't it new? Like, what happened to the women's revolution? You know, the feminism and stuff like that. Shouldn't it be up to them if it's supposed to be equal? Like, shouldn't it be up to them to equally make a move? And like, why is it always up to the man?
Well, that's just, we could have a whole different show about that particular topic. This is what I call selective equality, where
Mm,
there's a buffet, there's a basket, and I'm going to pick and choose where I want to
mm.
be equal and
Yep.
where I want to be traditional.
All right.
Workplace payment, absolutely, I want to be equal because I did the same amount of work. Fair.
Mhm.
Oh, but who pays for the date? Well, we should split it because it's equal. No, 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 it's not equal.
You make more
Splitting the
money. You
date is
pay the
not
date
equal.
now. Exactly. Oh,
You whoever invited pays for the date. That's all I'll say.
ah. Okay. 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 Okay.
And
That makes sense. That
and there
makes sense.
will be times when she invites you. I've
Yes,
had many clients have a situation where they do this enough times, a woman will actually reach out and invite him.
that's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Man. All right, Mr. G. Richard Francois. This has like been awesome. A lot of good advice, and I hope a lot of people got something out of it and
So do I.
understanding. Like it's okay to be a nice person, but it's not okay to be a doormat. It's okay to be the mischievous. How you say the mischievous?
Mischievous gentleman. Yeah.
Gentlemen, yes, and just have fun with it. And then again, you don't have to be Mr. Straight and Narrow. That's boring. And if the girl can already read you and already can tell, like, what's the point? What's the mystery? What's the intrigue for her to follow through? So
Exactly.
a lot of good advice, a lot of good insight. Like to thank you again for coming on the show and giving us, some good jewels. As you said, I definitely want to talk to you about that whole thing of the selective equality, and that could definitely be another show talking about like,
We
wait,
talk
why
about
is
a
it that
lot on dating scenarios.
you got to open the door for me? No, you don't. Like, that kind of thing. Like, don't you open the door for me? I can take care of myself. That kind
Right.
of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
how do you handle that kind of stuff?
Yeah. People want to take care of themselves when it's convenient, but I've never heard a woman say, "Hey, there's a noise downstairs. I want to go check it out. You stay in bed, baby."
Yeah, that is true. No, 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 but I'm sure you haven't heard it yet. That's all.
Yeah. So yeah, so again, thank you for having me. And if anybody's interested in finding out more about what I do and wants to get in touch with me, feel free to
Absolutely.
reach out to me at grichard360.com. There's various ways to reach me down there. Or if you want to check out my Facebook page, it's Astound Yourself Dating. I have a show there every week with new content with my
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I did catch some of that. That was a really good, it's fun show.
thank
Yeah,
you.
no, it was definitely like insightful, and like the fact that you have like a lady's perspective as well too.
Absolutely.
You guys
Elaine is
going back
awesome
and
to
forth.
work with.
Yeah, that's awesome. But again, thank you again for coming on the show. Thank you for your time and expertise. I look forward to putting some of your dating strategies into practice and coming back out as the mischievous gentleman.
Love
And
it. Awesome. Awesome. I look forward
awesome.
to it.
So you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll be talking soon. And again, to people, thank you for tuning in. And again, how do they get a hold of you?
You can find me at grichard360.com or on Facebook at Astound Yourself Dating.
Astound yourself dating. All right. Thank you again, G. Richard Francois. Merci beaucoup et bonsoir. Et we the people, meaning yes to the people. Again, this is the show for and by and of the people. I am your host, Rhodes Pierre. Tune in next week and give Herb, our producer, a shout out, and give New Alliance Studios a shout out because this is the home where they produce the show at. Thank you again for having us. Thank you again, Richard and
Thank
Herb.
you.
And you guys have a great weekend.